Mailbag time here on NBA Now. Let's start with Shamrock Sam.
Love
the
name.
YouTube name.
Love it.
Using hashtag NBA. Could the Celtics sign Carmelo Anthony as a veteran leader and mentor for young guys like Jason Tatum? I know, Jimmy, you're chomping at the bit to break this one down.
Listen, guys. Carmelo Anthony wants to go to a team. He said it. He wants to go to a team where he can play big minutes. He doesn't care to sign on a team where he can be a quote-unquote mentor. The guy just wants to play. Now, he had a great year in Portland. He honestly did. I will give him all the credit in the world. And if he would just continue to accept that role, he'd be just fine. But if he wants to come to a team that already has 2 established wings and take some of their minutes away, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen because you look at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. These guys are already ready at the all-star level. Anthony could come in and mentor them. I don't think Carmelo Anthony's ego will allow him to step into Boston and take a back seat to younger guys like this.
Yeah, and I think the problem we run into sometimes, and I'm not calling you out for the question there, Shamrock Sam, but the problem is a lot of guys are like, oh, he's a veteran, he's been around, he can be a mentor. Not all players have that personality. Like, Melo's not a guy. I'm not saying he can't do that. But what you're saying is what I believe to be true. He doesn't want to. Like, that's not what he wants to do. He wants to play, and he wants to put up points. Sure, he wants to win, but he doesn't want to teach Jaylen Brown, like some veteran. Like, he doesn't care about that. So, should the Celtics sign Melo? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. You see the link below, chatsports.com/CelticsTV. That is our brand new Celtics-only channel. You can sub right there. But let us know. Should the Celtics sign Carmelo Anthony? Y for yes or N for no. Got another Celtics question here from Andrew Miller. Should the Celtics trade Kemba Walker? He struggled in the NBA bubble, and I think specifically in key playoff games. He was kind of a no-show, Jimmy.
He was, and the numbers, honestly, like, you look at him, you're like, oh, it wasn't that big of a drop-off. Sure, I get it, but as a whole, and when it mattered, he was not there. Three-point shooting was a bit of a drop-off. I didn't love his defense in the bubble. And according to Brad Stevens, he was dealing with some stuff outside of the bubble. And, you got to chalk that up to what it is. But I don't think you give up on the Kemba Walker thing quite yet. It's been 1 year, and he had a great year. I mean, Boston was incredible. I've seen Boston fans saying, hey, let's go ahead and trade Kemba. I'm like, no. Like, hold on to him a little bit.
There's nothing wrong if he's your number 3 behind Tatum and Brown. Like, what's wrong with that? Sure, you paid him to be a big-time, 25-point guy, but no one saw Tatum becoming a 30-point scorer.
Right.
So that's just kind of how it works out in the end sometimes. So I'm with you. I would not trade Kemba. At least see how this year goes.
Yeah.
Like, there's no harm in running it back in 2020, 2021 and see what happens, next offseason if things don't work out this upcoming season. I mentioned it briefly a second ago. Subscribe to our Celtics channel. It's 100% free if you're watching on our Celtics-only channel. Just hit the subscribe button. But if you're watching on Chat Sports, see the link below, chatsports.com/CelticsTV. Turn on notifications so you never, ever miss a video on our brand new Celtics channel. Got to get to 1,000 subs, then we can plug out more content for you guys right there. Super chat time from Jeb TV. Appreciate it. How about Donovan Mitchell to the Mavs? What is that? Hashtag Mavs trade Jimmy Crowder for Giannis.
Oh, I mean, I would trade me for Giannis as well.
You got a super fan over there.
Hey, I appreciate you, Jeb, for tuning in and probably already being subscribed to All Things Mavs. But if you're not already, you see the link below, youtube.com/allthingsmavs. Go check us out over there. Donovan Mitchell to the Mavs. Sure. For what? Justin Jackson, Jalen Brunson, and some picks? It ain't going to happen. I'm sorry.
The problem is to get someone of Mitchell's caliber, you got to trade Porzingis, and they ain't trading Porzingis. So.
Also, Mitchell doesn't complement Luka the way that Porzingis does. I love Donovan Mitchell. I wish the Mavs would have drafted him over Dennis Smith Jr. back in the day. They had the opportunity to.
Wait, you're saying you'd rather have Donovan Mitchell than DSJ? No way.
Hey, the flash in the pan that was DSJ in Dallas, I will always love and hold near and dear to my heart.
We'll never forget that game winner against the T-Wolves.
Never will.
He did nothing ever again after that.
No, he sure did. But no, Jeb, good question. Donovan Mitchell, Mavs don't have the firepower to make that trade happen.
Got another Mavs trade here from Rashard Lee. Lou Williams to Dallas.
Lemon Pepper Lou? Listen, yes, please. But guys, again, well, actually, you know what? I don't know if I would trade for Lou Williams because that contract – he's really tough right now. And does he bring you a whole lot more than what you already have on the bench with like a Jalen Brunson, Trey Burke combo? Like, would you give up future assets for him?
If you think you can win a title this year, you consider this. But you also, even if you do believe that, you've got 2 superstars under 25.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to trade legitimate role players for him?
That takes up cap space in the future. And the dude is so bad at defense. Like I was actually listening to a Clippers podcast, and the podcast guy who's a super fan of the Clippers was like, you can't have Lou Williams out there in crunch time simply because they just target him on defense and he gets burned. This Mavs defense, it's already tough enough as is. So I'd be okay with it for the offensive punch. I also don't think the Mavs have the pieces to pull it off.
Bruce Davis, next up. Do you think the Blazers trade C.J. McCollum and is that Zach Collins for a star?
I mean, I think they could. You look at those players that they, you combine C.J. McCollum and Zach Collins, you would get a lot of pieces. The thing is, are you going to get a player than C.J. McCollum better than C.J. McCollum?
What about C.J. and Collins for Bradley Beal? Because I think Beal's got more value than C.J., but if you throw in Collins.
And it's younger, and got to have a couple picks, I think, in there.
It's close.
It's close, but do you want Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard? Like, does that work well? I don't know.
Beal's a little bit better of a defender than McCollum.
That's true. No, yeah, he is. I agree with you there. I agree with you there.
I don't know. I think they're going to run it back with C.J. and Dame, but you kind of feel like that Western Conference Finals run a couple years ago is probably as far as that duo is going to go together, which is unfortunate because they're a fun duo. But the problem is neither of them can defend.
No,
so
that backcourt gets burned every night.
They just get exposed by really good guard play. Nicholas Martinez using hashtag NBA. Do you think the Celtics will chase Andre Drummond, or do you think they use their 3 first-round picks to move up? By the way, Drummond's got a PO, right? So,
he does.
So I think he's going to opt in. $28 million?
He said, okay, he genuinely, he has said he does not know what he's going to do. And maybe he's just blowing smoke. Obviously, that's what everybody does in the NBA.
Stupid to opt out, personally.
Yeah, but Andre Drummond's not the smartest guy in the world, as we've seen from multiple times. So it wouldn't surprise me either. He thinks he can get more on the open market. Listen,
from who?
I don't know. But he thinks he can. So I think he opts in, and maybe they trade it for him using their 3 first-round picks. Your 3 first-round picks, I don't know how much higher you can move in the lottery because you have 14, you have 26, you have 30.
You can get maybe to like 8 or 9 with those.
Do the Warriors consider trading down to get a bunch of depth pieces in the draft?
I don't trade 2 for those 3 picks. I know you get 3 of them, but you drop 12 slots.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a long way to go in the NBA draft.
Maybe if they really want to move up, you trade 10 or 14 and 26 to Phoenix for 10, who's already kind of looking to trade back a little bit.
I might do that.
I think you could do that, but I think if you're Boston, Andre Drummond's a good piece. He fits on paper, but he doesn't fit in today's NBA because the guy can't shoot as much as he wants to.
Now, Celtics fans, we got face masks for your team right here at chatsports.com/NBA mask. Solo packs all the way up to 4-pack for the Celtics, and, of course, all 30 NBA teams. It's all at the same link, chatsports.com/NBA mask. Check the comments, check the description. That link will be right there. You click, you shop. A lot of these are on sale. You stay safe. And, Jimmy, I don't know about you. I want to get back into some arenas and watch some basketball games. Like, can we please pack, or even if it's not packed, like, I want some fans in the stands. I want to be able to go. You're going to have to wear one of these if we can. So go to chatsports.com/NBA mask. You might as well rep your team when you're wearing a face mask in your team's arena because that's looking like the situation it's going to be for next season. So chatsports.com/NBA mask. Hal to the Red Wolves is next up here. Should the Heat trade for Bradley Beal?
So the Heat have said that they don't want to trade Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, but I think it would take one of those 2 guys to get Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards. I mean, I know you could probably do like Duncan Robinson and some picks, but that's not.
If I'm Miami, I'm not trading Bam.
I'm not trading Bam.
I'd rather keep building, and I'd rather just go sign some. I'd either wait for the next offseason for Giannis, try to make a play for him, or I just don't. I think Bam is the one guy I can't trade out of that young core. Obviously, you're not trading Jimmy Buckets. So I think for me, Buckets and Bam are off limits. You could talk me into Robinson, Hero, Nunn, any of those guys for the right piece.
Yeah.
I can't do Bam. That guy is ascending in a major way. He's such a unique player.
He's so unique. He is what today's NBA is turning into for the center position,
is
why
he can get up and down.
And I'll continue to harp on this, which is why I'm taking Onyeka Okongwu over James Wiseman in the NBA draft, because he is Bam Adebayo 2.0 from USC. So I don't think the Heat are going to be able to pull it off without giving up guys that they want to hold on to.
Got another Celtics question here from Bridgeman. Can you see the Celtics trading for Okongwu? Jimmy, this is one of your favorite prospects in the draft.
One of my favorites by far, but I think you got to get into the top 5 to really do it. And the only team that I can see trading out of the top 5 would be a team like Cleveland, potentially. Because
outside of Golden State, of course.
Well, yes, besides Golden State, is potentially Cleveland. Maybe you get to 6, the Atlanta Hawks. They said that they're ready to trade that number 6 pick. You'd probably have to give up like a Gordon Hayward because the Hawks are intrigued by Gordon Hayward. So if the Celtics can package, let's have some fun with this one, Hayward, 14 and probably 30 and get up to 6, I think Atlanta might do it. You'd have to find a way to make the money work, though. Although Atlanta, I think, can take on salary because they have a ton of open cap space this offseason. I could see the Celtics trading up for Okongwu, and I think it'd be a perfect fit because guess who they got beat by? Bam Adebayo.
Yeah,
so
they need bigs.
They need
help
bigs
down low, no doubt about that. Are you subbed to us here at Chat Sports? If you are, just spam S. Type S in the comments if you have subscribed here to Chat Sports. And if you haven't, I don't really know what you're waiting for because if you love the NBA, if you love the NFL, we are the place for you on YouTube. And guess what? 100% free. We just crossed 200,000 subscribers about a month ago. Next milestone, Jimmy, 300,000.
Let's go, baby.
Type S in the chat if you are subscribed. And if you haven't, go ahead and hit that big red button. Seeing a lot of S's. Appreciate all of you who have subscribed already. Got a few more questions on today's mailbag. From Mary Moore, is Damian Lillard leaving Portland? I think the only way he leaves is if, A, he demands for a trade, which I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. I don't think so either. Or B, he retires because he seems like one of the few guys who wants to be a lifelong player with the same team. Yeah,
I'm with you. Listen, the Lakers have been thrown out there 100 billion times at this point for Damian, or as Mary Moore says, Damian. I think that's how you pronounce it on that one. I don't think he's leaving. I don't know who would be able to trade for him because of what he means to Portland. Like, I don't think there's enough that somebody could give up to actually get Damian Lillard to the Portland or away from the Portland.
And I just don't think they would entertain any offers without sitting him down and being like, hey, we're not in a place to win right now. We're getting calls. What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
We're happy to keep you, but if you want to pursue other options, we will gladly trade you. And I don't think Portland's at that point. I still think they feel like they can at least compete at a high enough level.
I'm with you.
Andy Park, as we have 1 or 2 more left here. Who should the Raptors sign or draft to fill Marc Gasol's void? Well, Jimmy is gearing up for our top 10 centers prospects.
I sure am, yeah.
He's working on that as we speak. He's done every other position for the 2020 NBA draft. Give us a name or two. Just tease us here.
Oh, man, centers. Well, we talked about it in our power forward list. Jalen Smith is a guy that could play the forward center or the forward position or the center position. Isaiah Stewart is a guy that could potentially be there for the Raptors at 29. Maybe if they want to reach a little bit, Vernon Carey Jr. could be a guy out of Duke.
Let me throw a free agent idea.
Yeah, do it.
How about Tristan Thompson?
Yes.
Different type of player.
From Toronto.
High energy guy from Canada. He could help the rebounding there. I think that could be interesting.
If Toronto is set on continuing to win right now, you bring in Tristan Thompson, you bring back Serge Ibaka, you bring back Fred VanVleet. I think that team's just as good, if not better, than they were last year.
Last question here from Isaiah 6. You think Kawhi can leave next year? Yes. I think, look, if the Clippers,
he has no loyalty to anybody.
If the Clippers, if this thing flops, moving on from Doc, kind of restarting there with the new staff, there's a good chance Kawhi and PG-13 are like, well, this didn't work out. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Because they have player options after this season.
They do. So I think he could be gone. I don't know where else he would go at this point because he's not going back to San Antonio. He's not going back to Toronto. I don't know where Kawhi would leave for. That's my only question. But he'd go somewhere that he can win, and teams would be opening up cap space for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them leave if things continue to blow up in Los Angeles. But they do like the Tyronn Lue hire. Apparently players are pretty excited about Lue in L.A.